Welcome, guys. It's Descaro. It's a game. Classic. Well, these are just some friendly matches between these two. I've been told a couple things about these games. I've been told that they're not the cleanest, which is definitely what we're coming for. That they show off some kind of funky strats, so I'm excited to see what happens. This might as well be a good time then to mention that there's a new patch out. A new version of Draki patch, which we're going to use for Draki Cup 15. Yeah, friendly. I was actually remarking before this, like, it's kind of funny we call them friendly matches, because doesn't that mean that, like, tournament matches are hostile matches or something? Anyway, a bunch of stuff was changed. A-Game's got a changelog for it over on the Discord server, but, I think the most notable one, actually, is that the base winner cost went down, which kind of encourages you not to, retire it, but Descaro gonna retire it anyway. Playing Savon, by the way. Just ignore the fact that it says Coalition over here. He played Savon in the last tournament as well, during both the semis and the finals, so... I think his read is that Savon is actually stronger than Coalition right now. Well, we'll just have to see how it stacks up against A-Game, who's going for some kind of aggro here, by the way. Well, this is another reference to Joke Patch, of course. What else would you expect? Well, typically, if we've kept the base runner, we've been wanting to go for eco, but A-Game is going to go for a push here with the base runner. It's not going to confuse Descaro for long, mind you, because obviously the Sand Skimmers are up here, you know what that means, but it is AVs first for Descaro. And this salvage isn't allowed to mine here anymore. Well, he might as well just get mining on RUs there. Yeah, kind of. Only Majir would always play, oh, I see what you mean, like getting skim fed before you build any salvages, yeah. This is kind of messy, by the way. Anytime you're diving under carry, it gets a little bit rough when the ALM is hitting you and stuff, but he's still trading pretty well. Let's check the units lost tab so we can see. 470? What the heck? Oh, he lost an ALM! Okay, this is another cool new thing in patch. When you lose logistics modules, it will show it on the units lost tab now. So that's cool. Anyway, the reason you keep the base runner though is that you can use it to use the heal here and make the dive a little bit easier. It's gonna be rough now that there's an AV in tow. A-Game doesn't have any tech here, so he's gonna have to scramble to find an option to deal with this AV, but this one AV isn't gonna kill his yeah, this one AV isn't gonna kill his PC here, so he can kind of like get away with this. He kills a lot of salvagers, there's only 3 left. But now he has to run away. And this is where Descaro really wants to push, because you've taken a lot of damage already. You can see, the units lost tab is pretty even, but Descaro was losing salvagers, which is much, much more important. So now you've got to do some damage to your opponent here. And A-Game needs a tech to answer the AVs, so he's gone for assault chips here. But yeah, it's really fun to see these strategies where the base runner comes with the Sand Skimmers to go for the dive. I feel like this was probably possible in earlier versions of Draki, but we just never really tried it. You saw A-Game do that in the finals, actually, which was pretty cool. He won a game using it, so... yeah, maybe just something that we haven't really experimented with, but we should have. By the way, it kind of sucks for Savon. He can't really heal up this ALM here. And it's true, yeah, AV DPS was nerfed, so... AVs, of course, performing spectacularly well in JC14, but I wouldn't expect them to be bad anymore. Or, bad now, if I can talk right. Just a little bit less insane than they were before. And you can see A-Game trying to make things complicated so that he can buy time. He does have the assault chip tech done now. Oh, yeah, okay. I noticed that you had made another change. Something about ALMs as well. Well, that tells me what to look for then. Apparently ALMs are going to do something bonkers in this series. Well, it's not a series, but just this this pair of games. We have Armor 1 coming out. Carrier taking a lot of damage to these AVs, you know? Oh, I see. Well, that takes the wind out of my sails, doesn't it? Descaro, like I said, by the way, he wants to make the counter push here. He's doing well. You can see he's holding his opponent away from the second base, and he's long distance mining. He needs to still get a support cruiser to really be on 2 base, but, you know, it's something. There's actually 5 salves, by the way, so I guess this LDM guy is going to come back in mind. He wanted more RUs at the moment. Which maybe is to get, like, armor upgrades or something, but otherwise, perhaps he's looking at air tech after, as like a follow-up. I always find it a little tough to go air when your opponent has assault chips because you know that interceptors could be coming out, but you can play that. It's just not terribly good for the Coalition player. Ah, I see, okay. So the AoE goes up a bit and the DPS goes down. I mean, one thing, like, the reason the AVs have DPS at all is that they can answer a strike craft, right? Because otherwise skims just kind of ran past them. Well, you can kill, like, one of them, but not the other ones. I think it's kind of healthy, but it's just that AVs had, like, a huge amount of DPS. 42 meters? Well, the carrier is 500 meters, so it's about a tenth of the size of it. If that gives you an idea. About this far. Yeah, we shall see. Looks like the two bases actually about at the same time, only Descara not only doesn't have salvagers here, but he does, and they're getting killed, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, for sure. It always is. But right now, this feels pretty good for A-game. Despite the slight sloppiness that's gone in already, you know, it still feels pretty good. Because, again, you check the units lost tab, right? He's like up 500, and Descara has been losing salvagers, is what it is. So that means more than usual. We do see RU focus from A-game here, as he's mining RUs on that second base. So probably going to be air, but we'll see. You could still go rails here if you wanted to. But when you see someone do this, they're usually planning some kind of RU expensive tech, which air definitely is, so there it is. And no fighter and gunship from Descara, meanwhile. But he is getting his armor ups here. And once AVs get armor 3, they're really, really hard to kill with, like, sand skimmers. Well, with anything, really. But assault chips will do it. It's the sand skimmers just won't. They almost don't contribute anything to the fight anymore. So it feels really good to get the armor upgrades on these AVs. Just in general, I feel like even, back when I was used to, like, back when I was playing games like StarCraft 2 or Age of Empires, when you'd watch casts for that, you could really see the, like, the difference in skill between players based on how quickly they were getting the upgrades, you know? Like, more skilled players seem to really recognize how valuable they are. Support cruiser going to do a bit of healing here, which is very, very called for, as these assault chips are fighting and doing a lot of damage. They have a bit of high ground here. They have no smoke for their own, though, so one of them is almost dead, but doesn't quite go down. Takes a while to heal up these AVs. Armor 3 teching for Descara, by the way. A-game's not got that on the way, but he does have interceptors coming. Off of one PC always feels a little awkward, but he should be able to spend pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, really good smoke biker from Descara. You can see he's actually going to get the first kill here, despite definitely taking more damage while with his opponent up on high ground. Armor 3 is actually not done yet. It's about to finish. One thing I noticed when working on Joke Patch is that when units gain max health like that, I think Armor 3 gives them 100, but it might be actually even 150, I'm not sure. But they actually gain, like, a percentage of, like, how do I say? They gain max health, not current health, and so if they're missing some, they don't get as much as they would have otherwise. Actually, this is no Afterburner. Just Carry is going to be very angry. But, you know, Interceptors don't need Afterburner to do this. He does have the money for it now, so he might want to go into that tech. Yeah, AVs, as I was talking about, garbage. Decided, you know, they are winning this fight. They wanted to push out over the hill, but now with the Interceptors here, this doesn't look quite so good for them anymore. This assault ship is actually still getting shot. They'll go down. So everyone's gonna die. That's very nice. Over here on the other side, meanwhile. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, he keeps his current percentage of HP. So if you have like 1 health left, and you get like 200 health off of an upgrade, you won't actually get anything, which is nice. But yeah, third base being denied for A-game here. He's not on 3 either, he's just kind of long distance mining. But yes, he did win that fight with the AVs, so. Good smoke. Always good to keep those salvagers alive, especially against AoE units like assault ships, which can really do a lot of damage. Here come the interceptors, though. They're gonna hurt them, and the assault ship will finish the kill. Very, very nice. Ooh, not looking too hot. Although Discara is kind of denying 3 base as well, so he's getting some value. And again, you can see, good smoke there, by the way. Oh, really good smoke, actually. Now I get this assault kill. Yeah, nice. Anyway, you can see these AVs are still just being so annoying, and this is partly because of armor 3. They're just so hard to kill. Obviously, even assault ship DPS is going down a lot when you're getting those armor ups. By the way, anti-air is out, by the way. I said by the way twice. It's a missile battery, so this car has got some AA. He has armor 3, so these things are really tanky as well. And that's actually a big deal. Sometimes I'll see people get bombers and try and kill the AA assets with the bombers, and then they can go in with interceptors, but he's got a support cruiser out, he'll be up on 3 base. And A-game was faster, but having a lot of disruption there, it's not really clear who came out ahead there. Although he's definitely leading in the units lost tab. Yeah, I mean this is a tanky boy. I didn't actually realize they were that big. That's like twice as much health as an AAV. But you can see why. It's to protect them from air units, because they really do just get killed sometimes otherwise. Especially like, I mean in vanilla we never really used bombers, you know, but when Draki patch was newer, bombers were starting to become a thing again because, no, I'm not gonna do that. Bombers started to become a thing again. Oh, there's actually a CU inefficiency here. Because the tech path was buffed, people started using bombers again, and missile batteries just could not cut it. I mean, they would just get destroyed. It was horrible. Feels a lot more fair these days. Although still, it's a problem. It can happen. By the way, mortar lands there. It does like no damage at all, but I mean, it's, you know, it's for the moral support. You know what I'm saying? This is a really nice TJ though. Right over the top of the hill. Actually, the ALM is stunning them while they're in the TJ, which always feels amazing. A bit of fighting happening over on this side, but A-game is going to get pushed out from this flank. Just doesn't quite have enough to really make this push work. And if you ever played against Discara, I'll say that's a pretty familiar feeling. This is always how it goes. You just never have enough to make anything stick against him. But this other flank is actually looking a lot better. He pushes them off the base. He actually killed a railgun with the interceptors there. And the strike fighters are going to come back in, or the interceptors, it is going to come back in here to hit this railgun too. These are assault rails from A-game, by the way. Love to see it. I really love to see it. Assault rails, I've always thought, are kind of like underused units, but then I don't use them myself, so... Would be nice to have a couple heavies around here, but, yeah, actually, I'll say, it'd be nice to have a couple of heavy railguns. This is too many assaults now. You can overuse a unit as well, but still, these things are gonna just chonk the AVs, where, like, heavy railguns can do it too, but they've got a weakness of getting jumped on. I mean, assault railguns don't want to be up close against armor if they don't have to either, but they definitely do better here. Gonna kill off that probe as well. Always nice to do if you can. And dart maneuver teching. Hey, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Well, I just mean, like, say there was one heavy rail with this... Well, the push wouldn't have gotten there in time if there was a heavy rail, I do admit, but... they really boost the damage of the assault rails, and they also fight the carrier a bit better. The mortar's gonna miss here? Well, you are kind of right about that. Like, if you don't have enough to fight the enemy rails, it does feel a little bit weaker, but there could be a lot of heavy rails here. Because I mean, this is a ton of assault rails. Although they're much cheaper units, so missile battery displaying its tankiness that we saw before. Although it doesn't have a lot of armor, so assaults actually do quite a bit to it. Interceptors are in the air again. Now, speaking of things not having a lot of armor, the mortar could have actually done quite a lot of damage here. These units are very bunched up, but didn't actually manage to get its shot off. Now that the mortar is dead, the interceptors are just going to come in too. They hurt the railguns a lot. Oh, that's a really good TJ though, jeez. Wow, alright. Well, that changes everything. This fight actually looks pretty even now. If that TJ doesn't land, I feel like the Scar is just dead here. That was very, very critical. Nice dart maneuver, but it's not going to be enough to get him out. There's actually an AA turret post here now, so these interceptors have to be a little careful. Still get a lot of damage on that railgun though, but one of them dies. The others can just dock now. Here's a couple heavies. And they do have EMP also. Very nice. And Rail Armor 3 coming out too. I will say what A-Game was saying earlier, like, you're not going to get range calibration. It's so much money to invest, and the heavy rails do definitely feel a bit better with that, but... Actually, the base runner tanking for the railguns here, this is kind of big brain. Well, it doesn't end up looking as good as I hoped it would, but still. Oh, well, okay, there it is, there it is. Now these guys are getting another shot off. Here's the missile battery mortar I was talking about before. You can see good damage right there. Dart maneuver going to be used here. These railguns are just going to try and jump up on the rails of his opponent, which are much, much more expensive. So if he's trading even here, that's good, but ALMs are actually kind of tagging him a bit. Missile battery going to die again. We've seen this before. But that mortar did a lot of damage. That was good. Can you get one last shot off? No, this guy barely lives. And Rail Armor 3 is done, by the way. Again, that feels so good in a rail fight. Just makes you take an extra shot to be killed. Yeah, that can go a long, long way. A little hard to deny the probe here because there is actually a missile battery, but... What was the range there? Did you see how far away he shot that? Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, this guy will have to dock probably, but yeah, he does manage to deny the probe. Just makes it a little harder when you have anti-air near there. Let's see if the Scar has made any tech choice. No? Just sticking on mid-tier units so far. You feel like artillery would be pretty good here, although it's dangerous to get jumped on by ARs, so like... But you don't want to go like assault cruisers for sure. Maybe battle cruisers is actually a call you can make here, but either way. These techs all take a very long time. It looks like he's not interested just yet. Could even go fighter and gunship though. Like a bomber would be really great here. So on rails, just gonna ward these guys off of the high ground there. Interceptor definitely getting a little too far in here. This one will die, although he is hitting these rails with the other one. Yeah, I mean, for sure, like, you have to say, even though the Galzian player hasn't ended the game yet, which, that feels nice when you can end the game, but he is definitely in the driver's seat here. I mean, look how much green there is on the map, look how much red there is, right? He just owns the field right now. Even got a couple of skims here. Just carriers still going on about afterburner tech. But yeah, these skims could be a big deal because they do threaten the railguns, but skims are unupgraded, I think. Yeah, they are. Range calibration coming out, okay, so he's gonna get that eventually. Yeah, skims, unupgraded, railguns have armor 3. That doesn't mean that they're gonna win this fight, but they can hold out for a little bit longer. And that'll buy enough time for these AVs to arrive. You can see how little damage they take. He does kill one. But now the whole skim blob might just die here. Well, it looks like he'll go for a second. He might get it, but there's a smoke here. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really looking like he's gonna pick that one up. Yeah, railgun survives over here. Other side, though, we have to play with the arrows again. Oh no, but they're targeting this unit over here randomly. That's a little bit unfortunate. Dart maneuver used as well, but doesn't help too much to get closer if you're not actually shooting your enemy. And yeah, these Savant rails is gonna eat the assaults for breakfast here. I was saying in the HW Discord earlier about like how I feel like the reason why we maybe don't see assault railguns all the time is because they counter everything, but they get countered by everything, and you have to use them right. And that's a good demonstration of the problem, right? Like if they don't engage properly, they just melt. But yeah. I mean that was a lot of assault rails that died there. Range calibration is on, by the way. I didn't actually see it. Huh? Seems to be some kind of visual bug. Oh wait, no, I know what this is. Just Carrier's gonna go on about it, because this happened in Joke Patch too. By the way, Sandskimmer's gonna try to hit the railguns on this side, as the Scar's making a bit of a flank. Yeah, it's like, this happened in Joke Patch as well. Once we changed range calibration, the visual just turned off. I don't know. Something weird about it. Skims, by the way, just get absolutely slaughtered over here, but the assault rails are in a great position. I think they want to target the railguns first, but I'm not actually sure. Because he has Rail Armor 3, so he's really tanky against the AAVs, but when the Railguns hit him, he loses a bunch of armor. Yeah, now that there's no armor break left, I think he takes this pretty easy. Just has to watch out that his Salvagers don't die. Ooh. Well, I mean, maybe that would even be okay, to be honest with you. By the way, in all this time, he did manage to get 2 artifacts out. It's like, this one not going to be quite so lucky. I mean, it's not dead yet, but it's very, very slow. Artifact plus TJ just makes you move like molasses. But A-Game's going to be feeling really good about that. He managed to get 2 of those out. Usually good not to have power 2 in regen, by the way, because it doesn't give much of a buff as opposed to power 1. So yeah, he's going to allocate his power a little bit better here. And he's taking power 3 too, so this is going to be a very powerful carrier. But yeah, A-Game is going to, or sorry, Discara is going to go for a tech here. It's going to be BCs. Yeah, the regen thing, right? Probably if it did 40, it would be fine. Even then, though, I mean, I might still recommend you don't power up 2 or even 3, perhaps, for the regen very often, because it's like, the jump from 0 to 1 is huge, and the jump from 1 to 2 is very small. So, even if you change it to like 40, it'll still be that way. By the way, main base actually mined out here. That's a lot of assault railguns. Well, I will say, when BCs are able to come out, they fight assault railguns really, really well. Because now they have the range advantage, and even when they don't, they're very, very tanky. But that's really nice, TJ. Not gonna kill him or anything, it just buys some time. Yeah, well, the problem is that, like, the first power gives you 30, and the next gives you 5, so it's doing, like, 1/6 of the value. Doesn't mean it's, like, bad necessarily, but you usually don't want to have your power in there. And I think even with the buffs, it's gonna be kind of similar to that. Well, no, it costs actually triple the power. Or, oh wait, actually, you're right. I don't know what I'm doing. Time to nerf power 1. No, I don't think it's a problem. I just think it's something you have to be aware of. Carrier, by the way, moving very, very quickly here. Now we'll power up the weapons. You do have to be a little careful when you power down the speed like that, because sometimes your carrier will start drifting, but... This game is turning into quite a bloodbath, by the way. I still think maybe bombers are the call here, but either way, he does have BC tech, and I think that he's building one as well. AV light blinking, progress going very slow. Production tab is bugged as always, but that's gotta be a BC. And A-Game X here, still on power 3. He doesn't he's not close to getting the nuke, but he's got a much bigger army right now. And, you know, I think that that's maybe the problem with teching BC that Discara was talking about, is that, like, look, he's got the BC building, but if he was building railguns, he'd have some by now. This doesn't really give him anything, so I can definitely see the logic there. Here comes the assault railgun blob, and they're gonna do some real good damage to these railguns. Mortar, not really a very good hit. There are 2 base runners here which can use TJs, so that's nice, but most of the railguns are dead already. Here comes the BC finally. Air tech on the way for Discara. A-Game popping an HDC, but oh, he's actually already got 2. Okay, very nice. Somehow I missed that. Yeah, so A-Game's army is just giant right now. Discara's is not so much, but he does have the 2 BCs, which will be nice. This probe is like flying inside of the rocks. I don't know if you could tell, but... Uh-oh, this is not where the railguns want to be. However, the base runners can kind of ward them off using the TJ if there's one. And he can even use another. Bit of friendly fire from the honor guards, actually. Yeah, so he's gonna actually dart it. I didn't know that you could use dart while you're in a TJ. He does manage to get out. A-game, by the way, holding an artifact right now, he's got the base hunter pick up another. If he can get this out and then extract this, he's on, well, he's on 5, and then he wins the game. The battle cruisers doing their job. See what I mean? They do fight assault rails pretty nicely. Yeah, I don't know why he stopped. Oh, I see, like, maybe you're on the camera like this, so you cue him. Well, no, how would it be? Like maybe here, you queue him and then shift back and he didn't get the artifact out or something. By the way, honor guards actually can be fought off by... Oh, by the way, strike fighters kill off the basement here. But honor guards can be fought by Saban BCs too. They're a very, very strong unit. Really. I think to fight this, you either want heavy railguns or some kind of answer like air or whatever. Here come the strike fighters again, though. Base hunters are still alive here, so there's some good ground-based anti-air for Discara. Yeah, you can see he's actually winning this fight. Honor Guard anti-air tech, though, hey, you love to see it. You love to see it. And this is gonna kill strike fighters pretty easily. Yeah, so they go down. And A-game still on artifact point here. Gonna be tough to pull this one out. Yeah, I mean he's already dead. The Walking Dead. Yeah, I love HDCAA. It's like my favorite tech. You know what? We might not have seen someone get it even a single time in Jirachi Cup 14. It's very, very sad. But yeah, the TJs are actually proving amazingly effective here, but might just not be enough. Now we've got a big problem here, is the BCs are just getting hounded on. Oh yeah, looks like the Scar gonna GG. Quite a bloodbath. Look at this, 20 KCUs lost, 17.8 KCUs lost. Insane. Yeah, I can see the rationale. Sitting BCs is kind of a mistake here. And I agree with the Scar. I mean, maybe the air units can kill off base runners as they try to extract and buy some time or something, but it's not going to be good. But yeah, oh, and something's happening over here too. What the heck? These sand skimmers killed a carrier. What on earth? But the point is, when you start teching BCs, it takes so long to get them that you're spending a lot of money on the tech and then on the unit, and you know, that's money that's not on the field, not until the unit finishes. So it definitely can be a disadvantage, I see. I don't know, like, even just having one honor guard feels really good. But I guess I've been playing them a bit different, where like they're with railgun gloves and stuff. And you kind of want to keep one on each flank, I felt. I'll tell you what though, having honor guard anti-air, like when you have more than one of them and there's air units on the field, they just don't get to exist anymore. It's so nice. This is why honor guard anti-air is my favorite tech, as we all know. This is why I'm permanently going on about how people ought to be getting it. This is Boneyard, by the way. Base Runner Tire comes out for A-game, so he's probably going ref mode here. You know, if it was me, I'd be rushing, because look what spawn he has, but... that's definitely a me thing. Care production upgrade, cancelled. Support cruiser, okay. He didn't quite know what he was doing, but... Well, because if you get missile ships, you have to actually go for, you know, the direct fire barrage upgrade, or else you're just not a real man, so... But I mean, Honor Guard anti-air is really expensive, that has to be said. What should the group term be for a bunch of Honor Guards? Ah, good question. Like, you know, you call it like a flock of geese, and like a murder of crows, whatever. A lookout of HGCs? Yeah, maybe. Yes, it matters to everybody, you know? I mean, everyone who's a real man, anyway. Ref mode finishes for A-game, by the way. I don't know, maybe you call him like a mosh pit. A mosh pit of honor guards. That seems good, right? Oh, probe taking some fire. He'll be okay though. Just takes a bit of damage. He wants to see what A-Game's doing. Should know now. It's ref mode first. And it's AS tech for A-Game. Real men tech missile ships first so that they can kill that probe, I'll tell you what. Base Runner was not retired for Descara, by the way. Always feels nice to have this if you get attacked. Of course, they can use it for the probe too, for the scouting. I feel like this is a much better build. Especially now that the Base Runner is less expensive, that also means you get less money back when you retire it, so... Oh, yeah? No, I don't know if I ever saw that, actually. That's weird. This game is a bit of high ground, by the way. You wouldn't have believed it looking at the thing like this, but there it is. So he's actually going to win this trade. Not to mention he has the healing. Now this game going to check for the 2 base, there it is, and now he wants to see the 3 base timing if he can. And A-Game's going up there as well. So it looks like a pretty stock standard macro opener from both players here. If I'm not mistaken, Assault Ship Tech was actually cancelled and restarted for A-Game later after he queued up the PC. So I love that. That's a very intelligent move. What? What are you talking about? By the way, Descara had like no RU miners for the longest time on main, but he's replacing those now. And A-Game just wants to see the 3rd base timing. He's gonna catch it here. Yeah, I knew that A-Game, but I just don't know why he was saying what he did. That's the only part that made sense. Yeah. AV tech for Descara. And no other tech for A-Game just yet, but... CAT. Call a tow? I don't know. So what, Catamaran as turret? Is that what it stands for? Yeah, they meow their opponent to death. Oh, I see. Well, I gotta say, like, all of the cruisers have a bit of point defense, right? But, it just, like, PCs have good point defense, and support cruisers do, and then all the other ones might as well not even exist. It's very funny that way. Yeah, I noticed that. I think that's a very intelligent way to play, because you really only need the CUs in the early game. Gotta get money to make money, you know? And it's mostly the orange bits. Speaking of which, A-Game floating a little bit here. He's got Missile Ship Fab on the way, but he'd love to check the carrier and cancel that if he doesn't need it. This is very annoying, though. This TJ is actually possibly going to make these LABs able to fight the Assault Ships. Nah, there's too many of them here. No armor 1, though, means that really could have gone either way. Has to be careful where he goes, because there are ALMs back here. LAVs actually fancy the redive, but they weren't target firing correctly. Oh, no. Oh, no. That doesn't feel good. Did he manage to scout the carrier, by the way? No, so he did finish Missile Ship Tech, but... Well, it's hard to be unhappy after that. Here come the AVs, though. Armor 1's on the way. And A-Game actually taking Sandscrimmer upgrades here, which is very interesting. If he sees the AVs, I'm sure he'll cancel this. Oh, ow. That was one of those hiccups that, like, hurts. Oh my gosh. Ow, man. Good smoke, by the way. Gonna keep this ALM alive. Yeah, now he knows about the AVs, and he's actually getting Sandscrimmer damage too, okay. I guess that's his read. I really feel like you would go for armored unit defenses instead here, but... Really, really nice smoke, by the way, and a great TJ as well. This lets the AAVs fight the skims alone for just a moment. We'll see if it'll be enough. Oh, really nice det packs, too. Oh my gosh, they just melt away. Oh my gosh. Ow. Now the assault chips are finally out of the TJ, which is good for them, but holy moly. that was horrifying. Well, very good tactics for Discover, but I think he's still losing this fight. Nah, I disagree. I mean, because det packs are used to open Rex as well, it just feels like it'd be a little bit awkward. That was a great fight there, jeez. Very nice. Kills off this last marauding assault ship here. Yeah, I don't know how many he fired, but it might have been all 6. It was a lot of them anyway. And you're right, that is significant, but it definitely was worth it there. Is the ship just gonna use the barrage here? This thing's still unupgraded? No, it has armor 1 now, but still, it's not terribly strong. These AVs actually have armor 3, I think, and then railgun tech is done for Discara too. Not really getting too much done on this flank. It's a very nice kind of TJ over there. And Discara gonna get an artifact out. He's also pressuring on the side. This is kind of what we never saw him able to do in that last game. Siege Cruiser is out, by the way. Homeworld mobile? Well, I've never actually played, though. Not a big fan of mobile gaming myself. Looks like the tech is gonna be Assault Cruiser fab here. Is that a chicken? Oh. No, wait, what is that? It's a worm. What the heck? Pole Doge. Oh. That's not what I thought it was at all. It looked... Muted. Got him. No, it looked like a chicken on my screen. Siege Cruiser doing his thing, by the way, but it looks like A-Game has cleared out this flank over here. And yeah, the Scar gets that artifact out. Picks up another one as well. Actually, base footer slow when it's holding an artifact was increased in this version of patch, so you might have some concerns about holding these because it makes it a little harder to use TJs properly. Missile ship gonna clear out the probe, by the way. You don't like having missile ships when your opponent doesn't have air units, but it is nice to be able to kill probes every now and then. Yeah, my sound's working, right? Yeah. Because I turned the health bars off. Siege really wants to get a barrage right here, I think. But the problem is that, like, maybe there's... Well, no, he's got tons of missile ships here. What am I talking about? TJ is big, though. Watch where this lands. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, the moment is kind of fast. Don't know what's happening over on this side. It looks like the Scar is going to be fine here. But the TJ is really, really late over here. Maybe he was focusing on this flank and he didn't catch that one. He muted me for not recognizing his emote, you know? Really, really good fight for A-Game over here. Base runner going to be smitten as well, very nice. But that's what I was saying, right? Like, the TJ is such a vital, TJ is such a vital cooldown in these fights that it feels like it's actually pretty bad to, like, have the artifact sometimes. This is kind of the legend of Boneyard, by the way. It's very, very unfortunate to get this spawn because of exactly this kind of scenario where, like, your opponent is holding up here and you just have permanent high ground. But Discara does have a good tech here. The ACs. Yeah. that is kind of how casters are supposed to work. Complain about the players not noticing something happening and then miss like all the action happening because you're too busy complaining about it, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, by the way. But yeah, Assault Cruisers managed to win this space back, which is good. Not really too much to answer them just yet. Maybe A-Game needs rail fab here, but although you know what I would do? I would just go like mass missile ship and then lose the game. But that flank here looks pretty annoying, actually. I don't know what A-Game's building back there. Hopefully it's assault ships to help answer. It might be skims. Yeah, it's sand skimmers. Sweet. So he doesn't have any answer to these AVs here. I like these guys kind of stuck out on the edge of the map. AC gets in here to hit the siege cruisers, actually. Oh my gosh, yeah, he did lose his main. What the heck? Siege cruiser goes down at the cost of an AC. I don't know what the costs are, actually, but I figure that's probably worth it. Third base Salve's getting killed now. Yeah, the action's happening on 3 fronts at once, which is pretty cool. It looks like the Skims are going to pull back to try and deal with this. This is not how Skims want to fight, of course, against AVs, but he's got to put together some kind of defense, so... Power 4 here for the Galzine carrier, though, and that can answer ACs, although it's a little bit dangerous. Yeah, but, like, Galzine can only build from 1 line, so... Well, he's halfway in the grave. Taking about half of his health and damage right there. Yeah, these assault ships just won't die. And like I said, the carrier can fight this, but it does take some damage, so it's gonna start backing away now. Even Siege trying to get involved, but it's not doing a whole lot of damage. If this AV keeps moving, actually, maybe he can like kill the Siege cruiser. Looks like he's gonna stay still and die. I'm just trying to bother A-Game now. AC should be able to keep these railguns alive. Yeah, it's no tech, he just got more carrier power. Although, like I said, that is nice to fight the ACs if you don't have anything else to worry about. But with railguns in tow, suddenly you start worrying that you're gonna lose your carrier, so it's a little hard to make that call, actually. A-Game didn't lose the PC, so he can get back up on 3 base, same with Skara. You can see he's actually not mining RUs here, but... Units lost tab is going crazy. I'd say it's about even. It looks like A-Game in the lead, but... Or wait, oh shoot, it's not even, because it's Descara who used the death packs earlier. Uh-oh, that's not good. Assault cruiser, or assault ships now get up on the 3rd base with Descara. And man, this AC is just chonking now. It's just gonna kill off all these siege cruisers. You need to like rotate the carrier here so that the missiles can start firing. But it's tough. Like, there's actually a trick to getting units to not get carrier blocked, but you can't do it with Galzine Siege because they don't have a retire option, which is kind of funny. It's like the only time that interaction matters. Am I right? They don't have a retire option? Or maybe I'm thinking of Coalition Siege. But either way, if you try to retire a unit, it'll move into the carrier, and then after it's underneath it, you can cancel the retire order and it will get out of the way. Missile barrage available now, by the way, but this AC is not long for this world. Found a very awkward spot to start healing, so he's gonna die. 2 artifacts being attempted now. There are a couple of assault ships to answer. I'm seeing a mess of red over there, but they do have TJs though, so maybe they'll be able to get out after all. Why is this carrier not firing this in the way? Maybe it just took a little bit longer than I thought. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. I thought this guy was gonna get away somehow. Siege Cruiser's never got the range upgrade, by the way, and at this point he probably just won't ever find a time to do it. Gonna sack the assault ships to kill the base for this year. Well, actually, he's only lost 1, I think. And then here's the missile barrage, actually. Gonna use it against the railguns. I don't know, maybe he fancies, like, the fight here. I guess that is forcing the railguns to move closer to the assault ships where they can get chomped. But the barrage itself didn't really do any damage, it just kind of forced his opponent to run into the assault ships. So I'm not sure that was really the highest value. Might have been better to save that. Yeah, that is true, like, the missiles chose not to land, but still, I mean, even if they did, I don't know, maybe it looks better at that point. And those initial rockets are the most important, of course, because obviously, you know, your opponent's going to try to get out of it, so that first volley, if it lands, it'll do a lot of damage. Well, dust appears to be clearing a little bit here. Army for Tuscarora looking pretty anemic, actually. As he goes to space over here. Very nice, very nice. Giving us the tactical map of the field here. This is how Coalition players get their scouting done. Looks like range upgrade finally on the way for A-game. Actually, a couple of strike fighters here. Take out this flank here. Oh yeah, I mean it's just been like non-stop. And again, look at the units lost tab. Not quite as bloody as last game, but I mean that was a really crazy one. EMP gonna fire here. Is it gonna land? Yes and no. Yes, yes. It hits the AC here. That's actually a big deal because the barrage will do a lot of damage. And well, wow, it just melted. Strike Fighter's gonna see what they can do on the third base here. But Tuscarora is definitely losing his. And they couldn't even quite finish it with his missile ship just right in time here. AV's being annoying over on this second base location, though. Dep packs. Hey, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. PC manages to survive, of course. I'm actually not even sure if the Strike Fighters had ammo left. I mean, there's still threat of killing the carrier here, perhaps, but it's going to be difficult. A-game not the kind of guy to usually just throw away his carrier. I'm the one who's known for that around here. So he is going to stay safe. And it's worth noting, like, Strike Fighters and Interceptors do almost nothing against carriers, because they have packets now, and they have, like, a damage modifier against carriers. Although, I guess I'm not sure if that's been, I'm not... oh gosh. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's been changed recently, but... I have a feeling there's a carrier throw coming up. Anyway, yeah, point is Strike Fighters don't really hurt carriers very much. So yeah, I discovered properly hitting the siege cruisers with that. You guys are making me worried. Radar guided missiles comes out, so these missile ships can be a little bit better at ordering out the Strike Fighters. Actually, that is a lot of RUs. Probably just like railguns and ACs, you know, but he hasn't lost any Strike Fighters yet, so that's pretty good. If it was me playing from this position, I would have lost all of them by now, somehow. But A-game actually still vulnerable on this third base, I think. He's like, well, I'll just attack over here. Looks like he's gonna focus the PC for now. This missile ship is in the area. Now, apparently in Jirachi 14, what you ought to have done was freaking try to, like, missile ship barrage the Strike Fighters, but that's been patched out, so that's good. Yeah, the direct fire barrage used to be able to hit air units, so... just because, you know, why not? Uh-oh, the missile ships came to answer that third base push, and now they're leaving the siege vulnerable over here. They're low on missiles, but it looks like they do have enough. Just gonna take that one down. Lost a Strike Fighter, but that's okay. Really doesn't want to stick around here, though. Because he'll start losing more. Yeah, it looks like he's got it min-maxed pretty well. Oh, no, he doesn't. Yeah, this missile ship here manages to get one. Not very easy to keep a Strike Fighter action in camera. Oh, yeah, that's true. It had, like, a massive, like, bonkers damage modifier against air units. Which it shouldn't be able to hit in the first place. I don't know. That's just DOK for you. This is one of these things the devs probably would have patched out if they were still taking care of the game. Yeah, right? It's like, I don't know, man. EMP is going to be attempted here. Now, this is crucial because if they land, then the barrage is going to be pretty good. EMP only hits one. Barrage a little bit unlucky too. It's not going to do too much damage. I saw a missile ship go down as well, so keep your eyes out for those Strike Fighters. There's actually no missile ships left at all, but the assault ships are in a pretty good position to ward the railguns off. They took a ton of damage as well. Kind of feels bad if you're not able to complete the kills, but at least you are damaging them. Oh my gosh, there's the carrier! Okay, I was trying to figure out where this carrier was. Here, it's over here on Tuscarora's second base. Which, by the way, the mains are mined out at this point, so these salvagers are making a long, long trek to get retired. I'm starting to see a carrier throw angle, so I'm getting worried as well now. But yeah, another siege cruiser goes down. Like I said, there's no anti-air here. Ooh, I'm really seeing the carrier snipe angle now. He's gonna power up the speed. Oh wait, it's not. What the heck? You're right. Oh my gosh. It's just evacuated, I guess. Barrage can be used to try and keep him alive here. Don't stand still! Oh no, it's not worth it for the money to retire these cells. You gotta keep running. Oh! Okay, jeez. Yeah, he made me a little worried there. No, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Yeah, I just thought, because normally when players leave the base, you just assume it's mined out, because you only get to see how many resources are on there when the green player sees them. But of course, that was A-Game's carrier there, so... Yeah, Galzine carrier just being annoying, that's what it does best. Gonna heal up now. Yeah, if he was like me, he would, mind you, but... StarCraft 2, GG. Why would you want to go on with this game anyway, man? Come on. Well, I will say, I mean, it's good practice when you're practicing to not GG to GG very early, because you don't waste time playing games that are pretty much already done. But I actually really like it when players in tournament just won't surrender until the game's like really obviously over. Like, even if they got a chance, they stay in it, right? I feel like, you know, I feel like that's classy. I feel like that's classy. Not, you know, when all you've got left is your carrier and you're just running for your life. That's not very classy. But when you know, the game is definitely not good for them at all, but they just choose to stick into it. I'm talking about this while this giant fight is happening, by the way. Siege Cruiser is dead. Yeah, carrier's flanking again. And he can keep doing this too. I mean, this is so annoying, but, you know, you just kind of have to deal with it as the coalition player. But yeah, I mean, that fight looked pretty good because the last Siege Cruiser died, so the assault ships are not exactly unchecked. I mean, there is good terrain for them to fight the railguns, but these ACs are really, really annoying. System 6 teching now. Alright. Yeah. Units lost even, that's true. Strike Fighter's starting to hit the carrier again. They don't do very much damage here, but they do a little bit. Okay, this carrier, yeah. This carrier is definitely a bozo carrier. See, he is like me. This fight here even going pretty well, it looks like, but it's just not gonna matter. I'm sure Discara stopped microing over here when he saw that the game was over. A lot of power to put into the healing and the running away thingy, but I think it's just too late. That was a GG, wasn't it? I don't think he actually died. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was definitely a bozo carrier. Ouch, man. Since nobody else has the emote, because I mean, who would tier 3 sub to someone like me? It would not be worth it. I'll put it in. The running away thingy. Yes. I appreciate. Yeah, these games have been just terribly bloody so far. 20 KCUs lost is kind of a lot. I'm in danger. Yes, do it. Base runner retired for Discara, by the way. Like I said, cost of the base runner changing does really affect a lot of the builds here. It's 2 on RUs as well, so I reckon this has to be like AVs or something. No, it's a production upgrade. Okay, I see. So he's gonna go with the LAV spam here. Very, very strong on a map like Kartova, so you can see why he would do that. Usually you even get 2 LDMs to mine CUs here. But base runner cost change definitely makes this a little bit slower to hit, as basically all games are going to be, unless they were, or all builds that is, unless they were already retaining the base runner. Yeah, well, honestly, I'm not really... Like, I don't pay enough attention to see that. If I see how many salvagers are on it, then I know, but... But you can actually count the pile and, like, see how much was mined off of it, which can tell you, like, how much focus your opponent has on it. But yeah, right, I mean, it wouldn't be AVs here because you can read the pile and see he doesn't even have enough to get the tech yet, so probably not, right? Well, no, I take it back. He actually would if he didn't have the production upgrade. I don't know, this one might just kind of be hard to read, actually. Salvager gonna go down just barely, jeez. That was close. I think Coalition Salvagers are, like, getting... Oh, never mind. I thought they had gotten 1 point of armor in this patch or something. I guess not. I believe 2 of them went down, but I must admit I alt-tabbed out, so I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, 2 lost at 150 each. There you go. That's pretty good. You know, I gotta say, it's a little surprising to see, Oh, were they supposed to? Maybe it only went to Coalition instead of to Soban. Whoops. Well, it's a good thing to cast games like this. We find the bugs. We find the bugs. But yeah, it's a little surprising to see, like, mono skims like this getting damage in the early game, but that's been happening recently, you know? And I feel like Majir really, showed us that these kinds of builds are still viable. A-Game said he thought it was AVs, he's getting soul chips for that, but I mean, that's still gonna be nice against the LAVs here. Yes. Yeah. Maybe leave it that way. Saban needs a nerf, right? Got him. Yeah, yeah. Is this ref mode, by the way? No. Well, he needs to have his salvagers on the main, doesn't he? Wait, what's going on here? Why is he long-hauling from here when he doesn't have any salvagers here? What? Did I miss something, or is this actually happening? Okay, I see, okay. I think he switched to, like, are you focused, and he was building one, so he just figured he'd pull one over from here, but that still looked a little funny. That still looked a little funny. Oh, yeah, imagine if all of the Saban Salvagers just, like, fired railguns at the resource patches instead of this beam thing. That'd be a little fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, kind of a weird game state still. We'll see if Descara can protect this ALM here. He's getting AV tech now. This could be a little hard because the assault ships are here already, but we do have the carrier available to sunder, and then maybe the LAVs can kill it, but it's a little easier said than done. Yeah, ALM is going to go down. That's a big deal. I mean, those are expensive units. Skara right now doesn't even have the money to, like, deploy another one. So, you know, making big gains. Making big gains. Second PC and ref mode's on the way. I'm hiccuping again. What else is new? There's ref mode. This is kind of an interesting little fight here, because I think that's actually a lot more LAVs than skims. Okay, it's outnumbers them by 2. That's not actually such a big deal after all. But either way, I mean, like, they can't fight whenever the assault ship is here. But this is a really good map for LAVs, though. So skims have a little bit of a hard time trying to be relevant here. Here comes that AEV finally. Both players at Armored 0. And we already see text coming out too. It's going to be railguns for Discar and interceptors for A-game. Well, actually, A-game went assault ships because he thought that it was the AAV build, and Discar went AAV stance to the assault ships, so... I guess that is pretty funny. I guess that is pretty funny. It's 3 base for A-game, by the way, so that's always nice. Just now getting set up. Oh my gosh. ALM's gonna be kind of annoying here, but still, this will be a bit of a tough fight for, Discara, you have to feel. Well, he's got the carrier in tow, it shouldn't be a big deal. I wonder if he's building a railgun as well. Yeah, he is. Okay. So this should be fine. That Sunder from the railgun, it actually will make a huge difference here, right? So... Oh, you mean for Discara? I don't know, I guess the last couple times I've seen, like, LAV rail, it's not really gone terribly well, so... Wait, what's happening? Oh, I turned the health bars off again. Oh, LAV's actually managed to pick off an interceptor, very nice. They might get a second one. That was close. But still, he killed a railgun with this, which always feels good. These things are very expensive. Did he keep pushing forward, though? I think the only way, I don't know. The only way, like, LAV rail really works, I think, is if there's so many LAVs that they can answer the interceptors. It feels very dangerous. Not to mention, if you have a situation where you get pushed off and the LAVs have to run, like, the railguns are just so much slower, of course, but... Oh, I hear someone shooting over there. Ah, very nice. He's managed to just slip the sand skimmer over here so that he can, Oh yeah, base runner, right, I kinda forgot about that. It's taking some damage to the LAVs here, but again, you can see they're gonna be just fine. As Just Carrier's pointing out, they don't have Afterburner, and yet they're okay, so... What is going on over there? That same sand skimmer is still hurting. Railgun tech is on the way for A-game here. With the railgun's dead though, like, Discar's push is stalled. I mean, he's not going to get any further, and the longer he stays out here, the more damage he'll take to air, so... A-game's kind of happy with this, I think. Wait, what? Was there an invisible unit I didn't notice there? Yeah, probably. I mean, the way that I always look at it is that when you see the units lost is really off, you look at the army next. And you try and see, like, if one player is missing army, like, in that case... How do I say? Like, if the armies are even, but one player is, like, has a really big units lost head, you kind of feel like what it means that he should have been winning. Which is kind of an interesting perspective. This Salvager is just invulnerable, by the way. A turret post? Is that what I think it is? No, it's a missile battery. Okay, you got one Salvager there, but... Oh dear, this is not going very well. Yeah, these Salvagers are just invulnerable. Anyway, yeah, when the armies are even, but one guy has a really big units lost, you kind of feel like that means he should have been winning because, you know, if he hadn't lost all these units in bad trades, he'd be ahead. But in this case, of course, he's also, like, been up on the bases, so I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It did, right? I was like, I selected it because I thought it was an AA turret post, so I was like, that's not what that is. What's happening here? A couple railguns coming up for A-game, by the way. It's got one heavy, one assault over here. Now, there are 3 rails from Descaros. This might still be a difficult fight to make, but... Again, Sunder makes a big, big difference here. He's got a whole bunch of skins ready to fight. What's going on over here, too, by the way? Descaro's got armor 3, but still, A-game seems to be winning this fight. Oh, he's got armor 2. Okay, he doesn't have armor 3. Yeah, but interceptors usually do fine killing salvagers. That was a little bit surprising to see them doing so little damage. This guy here, he didn't get the memo. It's like, have you seen Dunkirk? You know, right at the end, there's that guy like sleeping on the wharf, and the admiral's like, "Ahem." Yeah, this is actually quite a big lead here for Descaro. In those last few games where the units lost tab managed to get up to like 20,000, I feel like being off by 2,000 is not quite as bad, but that's usually not good in DOK to be down on the units lost tab this far. Range calibration is actually done, and I think it's turned on. Yeah, he just turned it off to try and get away there. You do want to turn off range calibration if you're in range. See here, he's able to fight like a 4v3 instead of like a 8v3 or whatever, however many railguns there are over here, because he's able to kite some of them. Only actually lost one. It turned out to be a 1-for-1 trade, I think, so that's not so bad yet. Got range calibration on again. Now watch the TJ. That's a pretty good one. Assault rails really want to get in here and be hitting railguns, but it's tough because these assault ships are not going to be able to follow them, so A-game kind of has to yield this position too. Kind of a nice smoke for Descara as well. Turns into kind of an annoying one as his railguns aren't able to shoot. Sandskimmer damage 2, teching for A-game now. That's good, actually. I mean, last time, or not last time, but the game on Firebase, we saw Sandskimmers having a really hard time hitting railguns because, you know, they're unupgraded. These guys are armor 3, but here it's not going to be the same story. Interceptor's taking a lot of damage here, by the way. There is a missile battery in the mosh pit over here. It's a little hard to see, but there it is. Plus the base from it. Yeah, I mean, ARs are just extremely expensive in general, so... And it's not like Coalition rails are cheap either, but ARs are just astronomical, or heavy rails are just astronomically expensive, so anytime you lose them, it feels pretty bad, but... If you're trying to build a bunch of them to, like, match the railguns from your opponent, it does feel kind of tough as Galzian. I think that's where Honor Guards are very good. Siege maybe can even work. I mean, you might kind of meme on Siege on this map, but I think it's actually pretty good. Skin's gonna do what they can on the back end. That kind of tells you that A-game knows he can't fight over at the front. Range calibration here, gonna do something, I'm sure. Actually, you want to keep him up on the hill. You need to make sure you're kiting the AVs now. Now it's probably a good time to turn it off, actually. Oh no. Well, range calibration doesn't do well when you're in range of your opponent, of course. Oh gosh. Not to mention these guys here just like walking up. Yeah, the units lost tab is starting to look bad, I agree. This is coming from the guy who used to, like, you know, when I was casting the Kharak Cups, we'd be playing a game and, like, I've got, you know, like 6,000 or 7,000 more CUs lost than my opponent. I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of okay because I've been taking good trades, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't act like that anymore. Clouder, is that what it's called now? Very good, very good. So, Torrent Crater, last one we're going to cast today. Same matchup, of course. BR Retire, very nice. We'll call it a mosh. A mosh of honor guards. Yeah. Do I? I don't know which ones. Well, I just feel like when there's a bunch of honor guards together, the light show they give, it's kind of like, you know, it makes me think of a mosh pit. I don't know. Do I? Do you? Am I? Oh gosh. I don't see it. Maybe I'm just dumb. There's actually a couple games that Phoenix goes into and I could cast from like way back when we used to go hard on the Strikecraft fights. We'll do that some other time. If mode finishes for a game. I will say I'm a little surprised that he doesn't keep the beast. The beast runner. What the heck? The base runner. Because, you know, typically A-Game has done ref mode first, where you keep the base runner and you drop a scanner out here to see what's happening on the other side of the map. And now that the base runner is less expensive, you get less value out of retiring it, so... A disco of ARs, yes, yes. I agree with that one. Ah, I see. The beast runner, yeah. That's a good game, Cataclysm. Well, it's kind of a... It's like Mountain Blade Warband, you know? It's a very good, bad game. Or maybe it's a very bad, good game. I don't know. By which I mean to say it's very unpolished, you know, but it's fun. You ever played Mountain Blade Warband? I mean, I feel like it's the... I feel like it's either the best bad game or the worst good game ever made. I don't know which one. One of those two. Sandskimmer rating being considered here. That'd be a bit surprising. Normally you're thinking of going tech here, right? Although it's very, very good for A-Game that he's able to get 3 base before tech here. Descara seems to want to try and refute that. He does have AVs on the way, but yeah, here's the support cruiser for him, so... We might see some aggro, but that's true, right? I mean, he can see that this is happening, right? He knows that there's just, like, no RU salves at all, so... Yeah, that actually is pretty impactful. Well, both players on the same page, it seems. Only thing is, if A-Game is getting a tech now, Descara will see it. And if Descara is getting a tech, A-Game has to get the schemes in to find out. And it looks like he can't, because Descara's doing a good job warding him off. So that's a little bit annoying for the Coalition player, or Galzian player here. Oh, yeah, like he's trying to hide it from the pro? Maybe. It's going to be Railgun Fat from A-Game, but it's fighting a gunship for Descara, so that's something that you do really need to be aware of. Like I said, it's a little easier said than done. He can't just drive in there, like his opponent will stop him, so... We'll see what he can do. Looks like building a couple more skims, maybe just trying to get some guys that can pop in there. Now he's filled out the base, so Descara will know about this. A streak. That sounds uncomfortable for some reason. Railgun Tech finished, by the way. Oh, it's the name for like a bunch of tigers. Ah. Very cool, very cool. Sandskimmer rating finishes for A-Game, by the way. This is a lot of skims now. This is a colony of skims. I think that's what you call it. Yeah, I mean, ideally he can use those to check fighter and gunship here, but he is teching missile ship fab before he sees, so he'll want to go in there and find out, and then if he can't, he can back away. And just finish the tech, and that will, in this case, turn out to be the right answer. A gabble. A gabble of skims. Yeah, very good. Very good. How the heck did we get talking about this? I like it, but I'm confused. Attack bomber fab. Oh boy. He ain't just going air, he's going all in. I like it. You know, this can actually work really, really spectacularly well. But it's worth mentioning here that, what are they called? Bombers did get a nerf on the, yeah, Bombers got a nerf on this new patch. I'm trying to see what it is exactly. Here we go. Tech cost went down by 50 CUs and the cost of the Bombers went up by 100. So, the idea here with the Bombers, right, is that when you show up, like, okay, if you don't, like, if you have air tech and your opponent can't scout it, then he gets missile ship fab, but he doesn't really want to build them because, you know, what if what you're actually doing is building, like, BCs, I don't know, something like that, and your opponent has, like, 10 missile ships, they feel useless, right? So, he doesn't get a whole lot of anti-air if he gets any. And then you show up with strike fighters and he can build some missile ships, whatever, but if you show up with bombers instead, it's kind of too late to get missile ships, so I think that's the idea. Really nice TJ, by the way. A-Game doing his best to, like, maximize how much AoE he's taking here, so yeah, he's gonna get out of it now. But yeah, there's definitely a world where you can just kind of end the game by having a really good bomber reveal. The cost change is definitely gonna make that a little bit harder to do, but it'd be a big deal. It'd be a big deal for A-Game if you could scout this. Something died there, by the way. I think that's a base runner. Oh, it's an AV. Is that a railgun? It can't. No, it's not. Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Damage ups, by the way. So A-Game is going big on the whatchamacallits, on the skims here. But this is 3. Yeah, HAC. Yeah, whatever. That's what it's called in the game files for some reason. This Scar's got 2 bombers, you know, and again, you can kill the missile ships with these and then build a couple strike fighters to deal with the assault railguns, or you can try and use them out here on the bases. Got a lot of options. This is going to be a bit of a tough hold, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he uses the bombers over here. Skims are standing still right now. But yeah, the bomber is noted by that skim that was in the TJ, actually. Oh, don't stand still! You can't be standing still right now! Okay, the bomb didn't land on the skim, so that's good. I might just use it on the missile ship, though. And yeah, sure, why not? Send in DMs and I'll get to it after this one. Oh, skim stand still for a moment. They do get hit a little bit, but it's not too bad. That bomb was really good, though. I actually was targeting this skim, which is like the only unit that didn't die with. Very interesting, very interesting. Now, does A-Game try and go for like interceptors here, or does he just figure he can build more missile ships? That's the question. Because, you know, the bombers haven't just ended the game, so that's good. But they're gonna keep doing damage here, so you can get why he's continuing this fight, right? If he just retreats, he's gonna take damage anyways, so. A couple heavy rails on the field too. I mean, that's gonna feel very awkward if bombers are able to find them. Look at the units lost tab, right? I mean, bomber cost going up doesn't hurt if you don't lose any. It's only like 300 CUs total. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of replays. Jeez, man. Assault Rail's trading pretty well here, by the way. Uh-oh. That's not good. Missile ship's caught out here a little bit. Attack Barber's gonna go for the base layer. You can see A-Game preemptively splitting. He's doing very well on that. So they're just gonna go for this missile ship instead. They will get the kill on that. Could you use double barrage here to like try and keep these guys alive? Yeah, he's gonna use one there. Base Summer Heal actually missed somehow, so that's unfortunate. Oh, there's another missile ship just getting offered. And this assault railgun not being microed terribly well. Oh man. That would have been about 2 weeks before we cast it, so hopefully that gives me an idea. Oh. Well, never mind. That's a lot of railguns. And again, you know, check the units lost tab. That tells you if the bombers are being effective or not, I guess. That's what we should do anytime that there's like bombers on the field and you're trying to decide if they've been worth it, is just like open the units lost tab, right? And if you're like, if your opponent has lost 3 times as many CUs as you, bombers are good, you know? Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll just pick up the artifact torrent. I think the idea was to use Base Runner Heal to like keep the missile ships alive or something, or maybe it really was just being path to the artifact and he didn't notice, but... Yeah, actually the RU diff is pretty big too. I guess I'm not sure. Maybe it's just because AAVs are so cheap. That's like 10 railguns now, so... Oh yeah, if you can find it, that'll work. Bombers are sharkened, by the way, like they do. Missiles die here. He's not going to get the PC though, unless there's another bomber, which there is, but it's actually not with the... Well, what do you call a... We're going to call it a pod of bombers. It feels appropriate. It's not with the pod, so... He's unable to get that kill. Oh no. Oh, no. Ah! Ah! Okay, that wasn't quite as bad as I thought. I thought that was about to be like, you know, world ender mode, but... Still, it hurts a lot. Skim Armor 2 teching, so he will be able to fight these LAVs off, but ouch, that's a lot of damage. Base Runners are coming too. Lands a really nice TJ. This is one of these ones that's not really gonna like kill the army though. Well, actually the railguns are hitting them. I guess I thought there was cover, but that dune is pretty flat. Yeah, we're gonna say it's not ideal. Huh? We're gonna call it suboptimal. Suboptimal units lost tab. I gotta say, for the fact that A-game is like still in the game, it's a little bit astounding because, you know, he's behind like 4-1 here. Actually, even more if you look at the RU's thing. It's like 10-1. Missile ships have the barrage, so you do need to be a little bit careful here. Yeah, it's gonna pay enough respect to that. Galzian carry taking some damage now, by the way. I think Railgun's actually outspeeded, so this is a little bit threatening. There's a lot of skims, though. I think he needs to bring the skims over to try to protect this. Because like I said, he gets outsped here. You know, there's even threat to, like, end the game with a triple bomber play or something. He did tech power 1, so he can get the healing going. That'll actually make a big difference, but he should power it up here. Uh-oh, the skims actually found a really good angle, though. They're right on top of these rails, and there's no one to defend. And A-game not quite as weak, otherwise, because, you know, he does have a couple assault rails with the blob. You know, this is pretty sad, because the RU discrepancy was like 10-1, but now every railgun that he loses, like, takes it down by multiple numbers in that scale. Very sad, very sad. Bombers even being used to try and protect here, but oh my gosh, that was actually so huge. A couple skims died, but I mean, bombers are not the best at killing skims. These two base runners are just kind of like looking at each other. We're not dead yet somehow, so let's just leave. Couple honor guards building for A-game now. Good unit, good unit. And it's artillery for Descara. Oh, okay. Yeah, these are some really powerful skims, so artillery does have a weakness there. If they can never get jumped on, they'll just evaporate. So, you know, Descara does have to be a little bit careful there, but... Yeah, they were just kind of like... They turned all the lights off, they're just standing still looking at each other like... Well, they got out, so, you know, good for them. Good for them. I haven't seen the bombers in a moment. Looks like they're over on this side now. But third base being evacuated, that feels pretty good for Descara. Does not feel good to have to evacuate your 3 base. Their vision is based on movement, yeah. It's like the Hunter-Seeker scene from Dune. Yeah, by the way, you know, I played Tiberian Sun when I was a wee lad. And I never knew that Hunter Seeker was like a reference to Dune. The older I get, the more I realize that everything in sci-fi is just a reference to Dune, you know? It's basically how the genre survives. Gonna be a miss with the barrage, but this one will hit. Carrier's taking a bit of damage, actually. Smoke's gonna get deployed there to cut off the railguns if they were able to get line of sight over the Dune. I don't quite understand that one. Here come the bombers. And there's 3 of them, so, you know, that could kill a PC, I think. Yep, there it goes. Honor Guard anti-air, hey, look at this, he's finally gonna make the bombers pay. I mean, look, this has been so long that he's, like, just been struggling to kill these bombers, and Honor Guard anti-air does it, man. Actually, it would be really good to split those 2 up, but... yeah, maybe he could have kept one alive, but either way, yeah, he finally manages to kill off those bombers that have been terrorizing him all game here. It still sucks to lose a PC, but, you know. He did get the bombers. Yeah, I will say, he didn't catch that happening because it was, like, out of vision, so he probably thinks he only got 2 of them, but... yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money, you know? Especially with the nerf to bombers cost. The Scar has been doing so well with them, I honestly wouldn't hate rebuilding them here, but, it's usually wise, I think, not to. ID Cruisers gonna make themselves known now. Which is actually not the best reveal, as they are just shooting at Sandskimmers here, but... the Scar gonna get these 2 artifacts, though, and with the arty being... or artillery, that is... because, you know, arty could mean both of these, I should specify. A-Game's not gonna challenge this just yet. Instead, he actually has to make a defense over on his 3rd here. Ooh, my gosh, this flank could be huge, though. But fortunately for Discari, he does have a probe, which is gonna scout this out, so... he'll know about all of the skims coming his way. About the gabble of skims, isn't that what we called it? The gabble? Honor Guard's gonna make themselves known as well. Well, I mean, I guess he saw them because it killed all the bombers off, but... has a bunch of veterancy as a result, although I think... no, actually, didn't she fix the veterancy so it actually does something for Galzian cruisers now? Still not very impactful. Veterancy is pretty forgettable in Vanilla and in Draki. Looks like Skim's gonna start hitting this SC. I think actually you really want the railguns, but I know why he's not there, because like the AVs are actually gonna be able to ward them off with the smoke. Actually, the whole base is exposed here. There's a lot of power in ALMs. Okay, I really missed this happening over here, though. Looks like an Honor Guard is about to die. We'll keep the health bars open on the skims so we can see like what the status of that push is, but... yeah, already doing a lot of damage on its first reveal. I mean, it already killed the Honor Guard, and a bunch of railguns, I think, may have gone down. I'm not exactly sure. Schemes managed to kill the SC over there, but they are going to die off in the end. Well, I mean, they got something, but still, it feels a little rough to lose the skin blob. Rails have armor 3, I believe. Yeah, so he's actually pretty tanky here in terms of surviving the artillery, but... it still doesn't feel good to get rained on, you know? Fortunately, Barrage is not up right now, but still. Ooh, Honor Guard has to be careful here. Actually, takes a ton of damage. And it's tough, like, you just gotta always have your army moving. That's a little easier said than done. If A-Game wants to build a couple skims, though, he could kill these RD cruisers now, because there's no support for them. The rest of the army for Discard is over here, which is where A-Game's gonna go to defend. Has an Honor Guard on that side as well, mind you. Looks like a bomber was rebuilt here. Another one gonna be on the queue as well. But Honor Guard anti-air, pretty good, you know. By the way, if it's only the carrier chasing here, you really want to power up the speed, because I think that he's actually faster than them with power 2, but he's slower than them with power 1. So, that's a bit unfortunate. Yes, because you were behind like 4 to 1 or something. It was like 8,000 CUs to 2,000, and then like 10 to 1 on the RU count. Yeah, it's actually kind of astounding. Well, we're gonna make itself known on the carrier over there. Looks like a missile ship actually gonna start shooting it, but not gonna do too much damage. Realistically, the carrier should be fine here. He's got power 2 teching even. And this fight, I think, is one that A-Game probably wins. He doesn't have Dart Maneuver this time, but Honor Guards are really good for railgun fights. Just doing a little bit of AoE and actually a lot of tankiness can be a big deal too. Not that Honor Guards are the tankiest units we know of, but they definitely are tankier than a heavy rail, so... I'll tell you what, the weather on Kharak is never good. Yeah, that's a good point. Because Savant rails are like boom boom and then they reload, as opposed to the ones that just fire on a pattern. Well, maybe Coalition rails are like that too. I can't actually remember how it works. Hey, Dart Maneuver teching. I really do like Dart Maneuver. Then you realize that he brought his A-game. Vine boom sound effect. Here come the bombers. It's like they just want to kill this very out of position missile ship. I don't really know what he was doing there. Again, Honor Guard anti-air is strong. Oh my gosh, actually if the bombers are having to dock around the carrier, he might be able to snipe them here. Pod of bombers. Now it looks like they are going to get away just fine. As you can see, carrier takes a bit of damage to the Arty here, but there's not really any big bite, so like this carrier is going to be fine. Smoke going to get used, and then these are barrages, I think. Oh no, what happened here? I don't really know. It looked like he tried to use his barrage and then canceled it somehow. It's possible. Oh my gosh, it's a microwave emitter. Oh. I still can't tell who wins this fight though, right? I mean, A-Game can't retreat really, because these units here are like stuck up against the wall. They have to go out that way. EMPs for the rails is good. Actually, yeah, I mean, it looks like A-Game's gonna win this fight anyway. And he wins on the other side too, of course, just by default practically. Honor Guard anti-air going to turn on here, but only one of them is available. This one has been used earlier. Microwave emitter expires now. And yeah, there's really no army to speak of left for Discara. Of course, everything on this flank died, like I said. Main base mined out, by the way. But he does have the triple bomber, and actually, Honor Guard anti-air is down. Well, it looks like the other one turned on again. He's going to enable that right away. You can see it hurts. It's not going to one-shot bombers, but I think it actually will three-shot them. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, suddenly it looks a little bit thinner. I guess I underestimated the bombers here. They're going to do work. One of them goes down. I guess they get two-shot by Honor Guards. But if I'm A-Game, actually at this point I might have just been base racing. Yeah, it looks like he is going to do that actually. A couple of assault rails as well. You know, it does feel nice to replace rails with assaults because they're so much cheaper, but they have a bit of a hard time fighting railguns if the Scar is on top of it with the vision. And having bombers out, he should be able to, like, figure out where his opponent is. Air units just in general give very good vision. Hopefully he doesn't drop a bomb on this skim now. Oh my gosh, I think he was about to. But yeah, now you see the carrier, it's just kind of a little bit too late here. Like, you can't, you can't stop this, so you kind of have to go for the base trade now, but it feels really rough because, it feels really rough because you lose all the ALMs, right? And you have to replace those, so... Ah, are you gonna make, like, an artifact gambit here? By the way, here come the bombers again, but Honor Guard anti-air gonna turn on. Now, you could use the attack bombers to kill the Honor Guards. Like, that might be a viable solution. There's actually a missile ship here, too. It's gonna get the kill. Oh my gosh, terrible. I think that was the Honor Guard getting the kill, but the missile ship helped with the damage there. Oh, no. Yeah, but I don't think that'll work because, like, I don't think that'll work anyway because the carrier can just, like, go the other way. That's a big, big map, Storm Crater. so there's a lot of space to maneuver. Salvagers actually didn't die on the main, so A-Game could, like, replace them here. I think he's moving with the PC to, like, try and take the third. This is a very weird-looking game now. Looks like Bomber might kill these, Salvagers here. Oh. Never mind. But, I mean, even if it does, like, that's not really the highest priority target. And yeah, like I said, you lose all the ALMs, so, I mean, it feels a bit rough to base trade anyway. Yes, that was really an experience, you know. It's hard to explain that game. You just have to live it. No joke, he had like 11 artillery cruisers and he's like trying to like chase down my carrier. Like he had obviously won the game, he was just kind of screwing around, but he actually lost because of it, you know. Only slightly, only slightly. A-Game doing some splash damage here. Watch where you're firing the missiles, son. You know, that kind of stuff actually turns out to be important during, like, carrier battles, because, you can do a lot of damage to yourself by, like, by hitting yourself with the splash from your own missiles. Anyway, the clock is running really low. That's worth mentioning, so... At some point, A-Game does need to deal with that. Like, either he kills his opponent or he gets the extract out in 3 minutes, but... He's got to have one, at least. And it's also very dangerous playing that way, because bombers can snipe the base runner that's keeping you on sudden death, and then you lose the game. So... Yeah. Which is kind of what's happening here, by the way. Obviously, the Scar lost all the ALMs, so he can't build any units until he builds more of them, and, yeah, let's open the resources tab, might as well. But it's like, these CUs and RUs just might as well not even exist. Because, you know, you can't use them. You don't have any pop cap. I think the main base is mined out, otherwise he would just mine from there, but... But yeah, if I were A-Game, I'd be building base hunters now. Okay, there he goes. But this is pretty late in the game, and you've got... Oh my gosh, hiccups. You've got to keep anti-air with them, too. Because this bomber, you know, it could deny the artifacts, so... But Daskar has to be so careful with the bomber, because if he loses this, I think he just gets out of the game. Salvagers, they're heroes, look, they're scouting the base runner. So Daskar knows where it is. Again, you should go pick this up, because you really do have to deal with this. Now, there's been a lot of confusion regarding the endgame condition for artifacts, so let's just go over it one more time. When the timer runs out, whoever has more artifacts wins, unless the score is only off by 1, and the player who's down has any number of artifacts picked up. So, yeah, heroes of the Weimar Republic, yeah. Spelled like this, though. It's German. Okay, Bomber, where are you at? You gotta be dealing with these base runners. Oh, jeez. Like, if I was Daskara, I think what I would do is just build more bombers here, to be honest. If you can get money to put down, like, targeting jammer... Oh, hey, look at this. You can use the thing, you know? If you barrage right here and catch the assault rails... Yeah, okay, this is actually a pretty good fight. But he uses the bomber here, which is not really great, so... Oh, boy. Really nice smoke there. Actually keeps the RD Cruiser alive. That's amazing. Yeah, Daskara's gonna lose vision of it here, I'm pretty sure. Wow. That was amazingly well played. Hold on. I don't think A-Game can get to the zone. Oh, wait, he's only off by 1, so he'll be fine. Okay, but Daskara, can you get that bomber out there in time? Like, if these two extract, the game ends. Okay, you know what he can do? If he drives his carrier back here and builds a base runner and picks this up, he might be okay. If you can touch it before these guys get the extract out. Yeah, no, I think it's over. I don't think you can stop this. It's kind of a convoluted situation, to be honest. Yeah. But if the score is only off by 1, your opponent holding artifacts can count as like a temporary point. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? Retire? No, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. What is this? Oh no. Well, it's not every game that has like 25k CUs lost for both sides and goes down to the clock, so that's pretty cool. This one assault railgun thinks that he's a hero, but he realizes the folly of his ways. Yeah, it looks like this car GG's here. That was all kinds of silly. That was a ridiculous game. Oh my goodness. Alright, well we got one more. I think just Carrier sent it to me. Yay! Just one more game can't hurt, right? Just one more. SVS. Wow. Very exciting.
Rally point designated. Move out. Rally logistics modules. We want to sign, Captain.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. I hear this game is pretty ridiculous. What's happening over here? I'm not allowed to say such things myself, or Jeff Bezos will come get me in my sleep. I'll leave you fab on the way for Just Carrier. Is SC first from him? Note the base runner retired, by the way. But this is that older version of patch where the base runner was worth more, so he gets a bit extra money for it. I think 5 CUs and 8 RUs. Sounds like nothing, but it can actually make a big difference in these early game things. His blubbery jam. Now that just sounds disgusting. Blubber. That's one of those words that you have a hard time believing is actually real in English. Blubber. It's too good to be true, you know? Too good to be true. Railguns. Very fun. There's actually no tech here, so I'm actually a little surprised the Scar doesn't go for fighter and gunship, but it's gonna go for the railguns here. This is a situation where you can scout your opponent and they can't scout you, so I always like to go for some kind of tech there, but... the Scar could actually just go 3 base as well. He knows it won't get scouted, so... there is that. Yeah, there's AV tech done. I don't think that Descara saw it. He kind of left a little bit too early with the probe. And now the LAV gonna try and shoot down this probe here, or at least just ward it off from the carrier. If he goes there, he dies. I don't know. I think he can get away with it. LAV has high ground on an air unit. You know, that makes sense. Yeah, you can see the probe gonna try and find out what tech it is, but this LAV doing a pretty good job warding it off. Oh, really? Oh, there you go. Well, I guess this map also is very bad for it, but...
New fabrication facilities now operational. Tracking enemy target.
This probe still hasn't seen the AV tech, so this is actually a very, very long time that he's denying the vision.
Under fire.
Now it sees it right here, but look, there's an AV right there, and the LAV practically saw it at the same time. So that's pretty bad for Descara. This is a very good, like, hidden AV push here. And again, we don't have the armor upgrade until we need it, so just carrier waiting out on this, but he'll probably get it now.
Unit marked.
Remember, this guy almost beat Descara in his best of 5 in the upper bracket, so I mean, that's, you know, that's no mean feat. He's no pushover with these things. But railgun tech is done. A little hard to fight railguns against AVs on this map, I think. But he's gonna have to try for it.
Enemy contact on the board.
Gets a shot off. Very nice, very nice.
Awaiting orders.
Actually, still no armor 1. This might be a read to say, like, look, my opponent's using railguns anyway. I'm not gonna get much value out of armor 1. There's probably some logic to that.
Contact locked. Carrier here.
Because, you know, obviously when you get armor broken, you don't have any, well, you don't have any armor at all, even if you've teched armor. Well, I guess with AVs that's not true. They'll have, like, 1 armor when they get armor broken, but it's still not very much, so... If you were gonna be fighting, like, LAVs, it'd be much more advantageous.
We have new bearing on hostile target.
Wait, what? What's going on? Oh!
Enemy contact.
Look at that. I see what you mean now. I thought you were talking about keeping the AV tech hidden. That's a lot of AVs, though. This is what you can do, is kind of just try and, like, stack up on him here. But Descara builds another base runner. Ooh. This looks dangerous now. Look how long he holds the TJ cooldown. Oh, I see, because he actually doesn't even have it. Never mind, I take it all back. Smoke's used to deny the ALMs any, yeah, deny the ALMs any ability to, like, slow down this push. But still, this one here doesn't look terribly good. He is going to get a bunch of railguns though, so let's check the units lost tab. One of the reasons why this AV strategy is so effective is that the railguns are much more expensive to, replace than the AAVs are. And so you can see just carrier down and CUs, but up in RUs. RUs take longer to mine, ergo, good, right? But he didn't manage to do really any damage to the economy other than a bit of mining time. Now there's 2 base runners here that both have the TJ cooldown up.
Tracking hostile. Heavy vehicle upgraded.
LAV gonna, like, be in this position to scout if the AVs are coming around this flank too. I like that a lot. Because you can just keep every railgun over here unless your opponent is driving that way. And the way that Just Carrier plays, he ain't gonna stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh yeah, Carrier pull. That's pretty annoying. But he's just gonna keep going in here. Armor 2 teching now. Armor 1 doesn't really do much, like we said, but Armor 2 does do quite a bit, as it gives you more HP. I think it's 50 or 100. It's 100, it looks like.
Hostile contact on the board. Carrier here. Enemy contact on the
Now what does Armor 3 do? Is it 200?
heavy vehicle.
No, it's the same as Armor 2.
Enemy
Yeah, there's the HP increase. It looks like he's gonna make the jump. Now that's a really bad TJ, actually. Well, but it's gonna net him an AEV kill somehow? Okay, not quite. Looks like that LAV died, by the way. But yeah, this targeting jammer is amazing, actually. I guess what you could do is, like, smoke up here and then drive through it and kill it or something, but it feels like a terrible idea because you're just using so much smoke, which takes a long time to get back. AV's hitting the rails, though. Again, keep your eyes on the units lost tab. It's going to look bad in CUs, but good for RUs, for Just Carrier. Dep packs even being used here. Would be good to smoke these guys off. He still has a smoke cooldown ready here, but he's not using it, so... Yeah, it's on both of these guys, actually. Like here, you really want to smoke behind you so that you're not fighting the whole army at the same time. But again, Descara having to spend a lot of RUs to do this, so it's... not impossible that this is working for Just Carrier, but this game's starting to get a little bit ridiculous. This looks like something, you know, Phoenixio and Houston would play instead of Just Carrier and Descara. He doesn't seem so happy with it.
Contact on sensors. Hostile threat marked on
Yeah, for sure, it has to be said, you kind of can't stop. Like, you just have to keep going. It's kind of like Rail Rush that way. So, sort of an awkward spot to be in if you don't feel like it's going well. You know what I would love to see Descara do here is actually build more base runners so that he can have more TJs ready to just, like, absolutely destroy the AV push. This little cheeky little smoke there. But yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, you know, AVs are not going to fight railguns here. So, if you go 3 base, your army diminishes in size, the Scarra pushes out, and then he just kills everything. So, it's not really available right now.
armored vehicle destroyed.
Armor 3 is done, though. That feels good. I think at this point, even though he can't go 3 base, he should try and invest 2 CU salves over here. That'll let him build a couple more AVs, because you can see he's beginning... Well, he's not really floating RUs, but...
We have new bearing on hostile target.
I think even just with the LDNs, he can sustain, like, 3 production line AVs, but I'm not actually sure. Might be a bit hard to do. Nice, TJ. Gonna buy a bit of time. Aelin's being put down as well, so Descara is willing to play for this. He's gonna lose something over on this side, but a really nice TJ for the base runner. Fade-away shot here. That's gonna slow this down so much. He's still gonna get up on top of the rails, though, so... I think right here you need to, like, be smoking these ALNs. Logistics module's going down on this side, but no railguns really dying. Oh my gosh, I thought those were in the TJ for a moment. The AVs never smoked the ALM, so they actually took so much damage that they can just get killed by, like, salvagers and stuff here. Actually, the support crews are getting the last shot. Oh no, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, and now, like, this time, Descara's army stayed up. You check the units lost tab, it ain't gonna be good. It is, yeah, it is, because the ALMs, like, when they hit the stun, you can't use the smoke command, which is very, very annoying. I don't know why that's how it works, but... And targeting jammer, yeah, same way. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, you know... But losing this many CUs eventually becomes unsustainable. You have to realize, too, Just Carry isn't mining as many RUs as his opponent, so... You have to keep that in mind when you look at the units lost tab here. I always wonder if it's worth, like, trying to get carrier upgrades so that you can, like, have better ALMs here. Probably not. Probably not. This SC has to evacuate here. But again, it's a really nice TJ. So annoying to deal with this, right? Well, you increase their fire rate. Yeah, and increasing the fire rate increases the stun and stuff. By the way, AV's coming out for Descara now, so he can start getting his armor upgrades and make these railguns a lot tankier. He actually got Magixa, which probably was good, because the railguns have a lot of HP to chew through. Yeah, this freaking support cruiser. Impossible to kill. At this, like, this is where Saban is really sad that they can't heal with their carrier, but at this point you might just want to get a second SC if you can. I think that's even what he's doing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. This almost looks like a joke patch game, man. It's like just so, like, linear, you know? You're just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah, armor 2 finishes, so railguns gain like 100 HP. That's like 10%, it's pretty good. Yeah. Yep, there's the second SC. Base Runner just got the TJ cooldown up, so that's pretty convenient. Gonna use that immediately. Oh, no, Burls! Burls! Ah! No! Okay, he's gonna be fine, he's gonna be fine. Our hero will survive. Careful, Burls, you could have died there. Okay, the salvagers are falling though, so that's not so good. You know, maybe that's true. Like, if you can use your smokes well, you might be able to stall for some time. Make that okay for you. All of the salvagers went down here, by the way. Yeah, there are so many TJs right now, though. This is a freaking rave over here. Hey, look at that! Another bot to ban. Maybe I should become famous. Wouldn't that be fun? This railgun here sitting in the TJ, by the way. Boom, get roasted. Yeah, still he's leading in the RU count, but yeah, it's like 2 times the CU's down, so. And good old Burrows can get healed up if he'll move over close to this SC. He's actually not on it, but... However, I am happy that Just Carrier is going to keep playing this out, because I want to see what happens. It's actually not so obvious that the game is over, but he's definitely losing. He's definitely losing. No, Burrows, you need to get healed! Ah! Oh no. Carrier systems, yeah, he's gonna start powering up this carrier. By the way, Savon Carrier really is quite scary when he gets powered up in the weapons, but also if he can power up the ALMs in the meantime, he can do a lot of damage to these, well, not damage, but like disruption to these AVs. This TJ is not helping too much. This is actually stopping this railgun from firing. Now, like I said, I don't think it's actually terribly obvious that the game is over here, but it's definitely not good. So, Armor 3 technically now. And again, you know, this is so good for the railguns, who are going to benefit a lot from the armor against the AVs. Carrier actually has a chip of power. You'd love to see that get allocated in the weapons, but, you know, whatever. It's not going to make a huge difference. I think these railguns will be able to cover it on their own. But Burrell's the hero is in some danger here. Ooh. Yeah, is it like how you'd say enough if you pronounce like the TH as an F because you're not a native English speaker? That's a lot of babies. Burles, you know, look, that's his name. He's a lieutenant. Lieutenant Burles Soban, I'm sure you've heard of him. More TJs are available, by the way. Like, you could drop one right here, that'd be so freaking annoying. Yes! You'd have to be aware depth packs won't go off inside of a TJ, but other than that... Yeah, this is a lot of railguns now, by the way. You could even try to use smoke to save the guy who's getting focused, but... These are Armor 3 Mag XL railguns, it's really, really tough to fight them. Yeah, like imagine if the other attack was happening at the same time as this, plus there's these 3 idle over here. Maybe we could have had something happen, but... At this point, it's definitely over. Even the RU's starting to get evened up now, and that's indicative of the fact, I mean, look, railguns cost so much more RUs, right? So if these are even, that's really good for discard. It means that he's not losing units anymore. Not to mention the CU count, so... Yes. They've even got the little, like, spot in the middle. Ethereal Boobs. That sounds like a band name. You can see it, right? These AVs aren't really going to be able to get anything done either, so... That's what we're going to end stream with, yeah, great. Just Carrier is going to 3 base, you can see, so he's going to have to bulk here. But yeah, I know the railguns have earned some really nice territory. It's still a bit awkward on this side, to be honest. It always will be, but like over here, you just can't push anymore. And you know, look at the freaking crater field of like all these dead AVs. Like this is ridiculous. It's absurd. Something happened over here, man. I don't know. That's ridiculous. If I were Descara, I would be trolling, obviously. I would just build, like, a bunch of base runners and just, like, try and cover this place with TJs so that you have to, like... You just can't kill them, you know? Yeah, it's hard to concentrate on the battle, you're right. Speaking of TJ stopping mining, though. You know what I always used to do back during the metas where, like, the TJ had finally become free and then, like, base runners still used to roam at the beginning because they couldn't be killed very easily? is I'd like put TJs on the enemy wrecks and try and like stop them from opening them with salvagers. You have to like bring a military unit over to clear it out first. He's doing the thing! Yes, this is excellent. Like, look, he has to invest his smokes to just kill a TJ. It's like, that feels so useless. AC tech is done, by the way. Would be surprised if he's not building one right now. Well, I mean, they are pretty expensive. Other than that. But it's like, you're spending all this time just to get through the TJ field, and then he drops another one. Oh my gosh. It's horrible. It's a massacre. It's a massacre. Couple railguns on the other side to be able to deal with them as well. You know, now these AVs feel a bit trapped even. Oh man. Units lost tab has been better before. Remember, like, those games of A-Game and Discara were so bloody, it was like 20 KCUs lost. This is like that too, actually, but only for Just Carrier. Yeah, you're gonna think twice before joining Just Carrier's army after this. Just keep trying it and hope it works. Arty Cruiser? What? What? No way. He's got an Arty Cruiser. Okay, alright, let's see what he can do. Still gonna be problems when ACs pop here, but, you know. That is just ripe. Oh my gosh. Okay, still problems with railguns though. Again, like, if they can push across the hill, you know. Exactly, you know, TJs can't move. They're just fodder for the Arty Cruiser. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this push is gonna be so hard to stop though, but like maybe he can counter push. But again, there's so much disruption here. It's like it's not obvious that he'll be able to like make this work. Actually, what you have to do is like use your base runner, try and TJ him and get up on top of him with like, AVs or something. Okay, double Arty is gonna be good on the main. He's actually giving the barrage order. Oh, he's actually barraging from all the way over here. Oh, there you go. Third base getting eviscerated though. Barrage is being used now. I forgot how much range Coalition already has. Oh my gosh. Railgun's gonna take damage here, but again, they've actually got armor 3, which is good for their survivability. You can see some of them dying, but they're not gonna be too hurt by this. I think that Discara can actually keep the push going. Here's this assault cruiser though. I think it used like tech missile barrage. I must have missed that off screen. If it has overcharge available, it just never takes damage from AAVs, but only while that ability is on. So you can see, Just Carrier though still he knows this is not a very good trade for him. He's gonna have to back away. This Arty Cruiser feels a bit out of position now. Maybe he could go like BCs here or something, but it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of good options. This is what happens when you're, you know, 15 KCUs behind. Gosh, I can see why you said to cast this game. This is a good one, man. You're teching Arty to counter TJs. That's just ridiculous. Yeah, Arty Cruisers are kind of this big investment. Like, you can't, you know, drive out here and harass the main base, because you'll just die to, like, 2 LAVs, so... Carrier, even considering jumping across the bridge, although, of course, you can't actually do that. We do have fighter and gunship tech on the way. Here comes the big fight. TJ lands, so these guys can't even smoke out. Oh, boy. Pretty good tech missile barrage, too. There's another TJ. Of course there is. There's another one. Of course there is. No, you should make a meme thumbnail. That would actually be awesome. That'd be awesome. I'd use it. I'd use it. Yeah, it's just an alias for TJ. I mean, obviously it takes more space, but you know. Oh boy. This is some kind of game, all right. Just Carrier got an extraction out, so that's, you know, that's nice. Yeah, this Arty is gonna be dead here though, and I don't know what happened to the other one, but I assume it died in a similar fashion. Now there's really no units left, and yeah, Just Carrier is gonna surrender. How many base? 4? 5? Where's the 5th one? Oh, it's carting an artifact out. Early GG, yeah, frankly. You know, this game wasn't over yet. I can't believe you'd surrender like that. That's insane, man. What a freaking game. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Well, thanks for watching, guys. All the games today were pretty good. I had a lot of fun. You know, normally there's a bit of a lull in casting when there's no tournament running, but it's nice to have some replays to do. Next time we come on, we'll probably watch some games that Phoenixio sent in that we played like back in freaking 2020, I think. But, you know. Yeah. See you later.